Alright, first off, I hope you can hear me well. I have this rigged up in my phone in my car a different way than I normally do this, so I don't know what the audio is going to be like. I hope it's decent. Anyways, I do have something I want to talk about. I didn't really want to do it in a normal T4Cast way. I wanted to do it in a T4Cast real talk way because there kind of is a difference with my real talks versus my generic T4Cast. The generic T4Cast is supposed to be just some dumb thing I'm thinking about and just chat away, where the real talk is, more deep-seated personal issues. So I want to be like on camera and like talking to you, not just kind of, you see this background and you hear me talking. But I was looking at my schedule and I'm thinking about everything I got going on, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to make this video the real talk way anytime soon. So if I want to do this, I might as well just do it while I'm driving and do it this way. I can't really do it with the camera on me because it's dark now, and I'm not going to drive with the car with the cabin lights on. Anyways, let me just get into the story. So, where I live is, I live in a apartment building that's not a traditional apartment building. It's basically a house that's been repurposed so that each floor of the house is its own apartment. It's 3 floors, and I'm on the 3rd floor. So my apartment itself is pretty tiny. I mean, I feel like it's perfect for like one person. A one-person apartment, that's absolutely perfect. Especially if you're like an older person, like a senior citizen. It's perfect. Because it's so small, the cleaning it is easy, When I vacuum, it takes me 5 minutes and I did my whole entire apartment. So like maintenance is easy. It's just a small compact area for somebody who doesn't have much. No big deal. For me, though, it's not so perfect because I have my daughter. So even though she's not with me all the time, because she's with her mom as well, it's still it's mildly cramped when she's there. Like, there's plenty of times where we're, like, bumping into each other, just trying to traverse, like, in the living room and stuff, and it's just ridiculous. And then her bedroom is so small. Like, when I moved in there, she was, like, I think she was a little over 2 years. Actually, she was almost 3 years old. And it was perfect then because she was little. She was a small little kid. Her tiny room looked perfect for her. But now she's big. And her tiny room just seems even more tiny now. Now it's like what it was like when I was hanging out in her room with her when she was small. You know what I mean? Now she's just like a big body in there. And it's like, eef. But anyways, that really has nothing to do with the overall story. I'm just putting some background information out there just to embellish the story a little. So anyways, being on the 3rd floor, I am always cognizant that, I'm on the 3rd floor. There's people that live below me. So, like, if I have guests over, I try to remind them, hey, like, there's people downstairs. So, keep keep things reasonable. Especially when there's kids, like my nephew, when he comes over, especially when I have my daughter. Oh, he just gets way too excited. And then he's all, loud and banging around, jumping and stuff. And it's like, kid, you need to calm down. I have people that live below me. They will hear this. They don't want to hear this. So relax. I get it, you're excited, but you can be excited and like reasonable at the same time, not all banging. So, or like I don't listen to music loud or anything. I mean, sometimes I do like full blast on my phone, but at the end of the day, nobody hears that. It's on my phone. You know what I mean? Like, I hear it. It's not like it's disrupting anyone else. And like, in summer, when I have the windows open, I try to be quiet at a reasonable time. Not like I'm ever loud, but sometimes my daughter and I will get a little rambunctious with our goofy inside jokes that we do all the time. So, when it gets later, I try to be mindful of it, and I kind of tone things down, and then she kind of follows suit and tones things down, because I understand the windows are open. Maybe they have their windows open. It's later. People, you don't want to hear somebody being obnoxious with stupid jokes when it's late and you're just trying to, relax and get ready for your next day. And then sometimes in the winter, I have to use the hallway, which when I have to use the hallway, I always feel, I feel kind of like guilty, I guess, because, see, the way it works is I have a staircase on the side of the house that goes directly to my place. It's my staircase only. It doesn't lead to any of the other floors. It's my floor only. But those stairs they need attention. I don't know how old they are. They've been there for a while. And now they're just so full of like algae and moss. I don't know if it's, is it algae? Algae's in the water, right? So maybe it's just moss and stuff. And like, they get slippery. In winter, forget it. The slightest bit of moisture, that freezes up, and the algae combined with it, they're straight ice. I can't use them. And then even now, like, it's not winter yet, but like if they're wet and I'm stumbling over my words. When they're wet, like if it just rained or something, or even if it's just like the morning dew, they get slippery because that dang algae. It has to be the algae. There's no other reason why they'd be so like semi-dangerous. So yeah, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should sand them down, not sand them, but maybe like use a plane and, kind of plane them down and then put some stain on it, or just, I don't know, put some stain mixed with rocks for the winter. I don't know what to do. I mean, at the same time, I am just a tenant, so it's like, it's not really my responsibility either, like it kind of is because they're my stairs, but at the same time, it's not my building, so. But anyways, so that's why I use the hallway a lot of times in winter. Actually, the only times is winter. Even though they get slippery in summer, I don't use the hallway. It's something I can deal with. It's just more dangerous in the winter. So anyways, I always feel guilty though, because I'm like, well, technically, the hallway is the second floor's only way to go in and out. So every time I use the hallway, I feel like, this is their way. Like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, even though I'm not, but I just feel that way. I feel like that's their path. I have stairs on the side of the house. That's what I'm supposed to use, not the hall. But anyways, so when I am in the hall, I try to be nice and quiet and respectful. I shut my door quietly, I lock it quietly, I'll go down the stairs quietly and slowly so I'm not like obnoxious and disrupting anybody. When I leave out the front door, I'll shut it nice and gently behind me so it's not slamming. I think once it slammed, and that was on accident. Like, it swung back at me faster than I was expecting, and so it shut before I caught it. But otherwise, I shut it very gently. I always try to be mindful that there's other people that live there. It's not just me, it's not just family or whatever, it's other people. And so I don't want to be annoying to them. It's even like my floors. My floors creak a lot, and I don't know if they can hear that below me or if it's just me that hears it and they don't notice. But I'm like, if they do hear it, like, sometimes I feel like, again, guilty. Like, I hope I'm not being annoying right now. Like, for example, when I put away my laundry, I'll put away my laundry at night after work or whatever, but it's like 9:30 at night or something I'm doing this, and then the floor is just, and I'm like, man, I hope they can't hear this, because this would be annoying, like 10 o'clock at night, and they gotta hear me creaking around. But I'm just trying to put my laundry away, like. And then typically as soon as I'm done, I'll just like lay on my bed or something. Other than it's nice and quiet, I'm not moving around. Anyways, lots of exposition there. I'm just trying to paint the picture that I try to be as respectful and courteous and all that as I can be. So anyways, recently we had our bathrooms renovated. The landlord renovated them, I think about a little over a year ago now. I think it was like March of last year, so 2022 is when this all started, and I think they took forever. Well, way longer than they estimated, at least. I think they finished by like May or something. They estimated it would have been a month, and it took them like 2.5, something ridiculous like that. But anyways, he renovated my bathroom and the second floors. I don't really know why he didn't do the first floor. I mean, I think he technically did the first floor a few years before us. Well, I say a few, probably like 5-6 years before us. But no, more than that, like 8 to 10 years before us. But still, I mean, it probably could use to be updated again. I mean, that's 10-year-old update. But anyways, so we updated our bathrooms. But the problem is my landlord is super cheap. Yeah, he'll get someone to do the work, but he always gets like the cheapest, most low-quality individual to do it. And on one hand, I get it. For him, the house is supposed to be like, an easy side hustle. You know what I mean? It's just a cash machine for him. He doesn't want to spend money on it. He just wants to get money from it. I get that. And he doesn't live there, so obviously, like, things that go on there, he's not going to care about. It's not, he doesn't really have to deal with it. We do. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, it is your building. Don't you want to take a little pride in it and kind of, make sure that the work's done properly so that either A, you don't have to worry about it again shortly down the line, or B, just for like, equity or whatever for yourself. Like, I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, so the team that he hired to renovate our bathrooms was these people, so I saw them. I used to see them all over the place. So I'm sure maybe that's how he heard of them, because they kind of were out there. You'd see them driving around all the time. But the problem was, which I didn't know at the time until they started working for us, is that these guys were like ex-felons / recovering drug addicts. Like, they're not really high-quality individuals. Okay? I mean, on one hand, all right, you could say they're trying to turn their lives around, but, like, still, they were in prison. They have felony charges. Like, it's not misdemeanor, they're felons. And then drug addicts, which, in terms of the recovering, I know not all of them were recovering. You know, they were still using, because, one, there was one guy who was always just kind of weird. You could just tell something was off about him, and it was probably because he was high. He was on whatever he was on, coming to the jobs. And it wasn't like they did something like weed or something soft. No, they're doing like heroin and crap like that. So this guy was clearly on something all the time when he was there. And then the other thing is the guy who was like the leader of them, I don't know what you want to call that, the foreman or whatever, their boss, like a couple months after they finished doing the work for us, he died of an overdose. So he's not around anymore because, well, he's dead. And they're not even in business anymore because he was the ringleader. So once he's gone, there's nobody to like carry on that business. Plus that probably was like a little scandal that rocked them. So nobody's going to want to hire him now that they know that they're all, you know, now everybody knows that they're just still active using druggies. So, yeah. Anyways, they also screwed up a couple of things. You know, I have a shower now, and the second floor has a tub. But what was supposed to happen was the second floor was supposed to get the shower, and I was supposed to get the tub. So I already had a tub, so the whole point was that I was supposed to just get a new tub, an updated tub. Instead, I ended up with a shower. And the reason for that, from what I understand, is because the guys, when they came, measured wrong or something like that. And so when they tried to put the tub in my place, it didn't fit. It was too big. But luckily, the second floor is a little larger because, let me back up a tiny bit. Like I said, my apartment's tiny. Well, my bathroom is basically a closet that back in the day, when they wanted to turn my floor into an actual apartment, it was like, they were like, oh crap, there's no bathroom up here. So they found a closet and like, yeah, we could probably jam a toilet, a sink, and a shower in here. We can make it work. I mean, my bathroom is tiny. Like, I'm a decent sized guy. I'm about 6 foot, 304 pounds. I'm decent sized. I'm not tiny. And this bathroom is way too small for me. I mean, even the shower itself, the ceiling is at an angle. So every time I try to shower, I gotta like duck down, and I hate it. It's uncomfortable. And I just think, man, what if I'm here for a while? How's this gonna go when I'm older? You know, what if I'm like mid-40s and I gotta keep dealing with this? Like, I mean, hopefully when I'm mid-40s, things are a lot different. I'm just thinking hypothetical, though. What if? You know what I mean? Like, what if I have, you know, you're older, you have more aches and pains. I don't think I'm going to be wanting to be bending over all the time just so I can take a shower. So anyways, back to the main story. So the tub was too big, apparently, because, you know, my area is tiny. But fortunately, there's enough space in the second floor that it was able to fit down there. So the shower, I mean, the shower is basically, you know, custom. You just take the boards and you make the base, and then you add in the flooring and all that. So, you know, you could fit it to any size as long as you have enough wood to make the base. So obviously, if their wood was bigger for the second floor, then there's enough wood to fit my floor. They just have to cut it down a little bit, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's one thing they did that they screwed up. Then I hear on the second floor, I don't know what this guy does for work. The guy on the second floor, he's like a mechanic or something. I know he works for a junkyard. He talks about it all the time and stuff. He even has like a company car. It's not nice by any means. It's very run down, very old. It's a piece of junk. The only reason it's still going is because he chooses to keep it going because he's used to it now. He's had the thing for about 15 years. But anyways, so there's all that. But at the same time, he seems like he's never at work. Like, whenever I take a week off from work, I usually don't do anything. I was going to say when I go on vacation, but I don't go on vacation. I'm just home. The weeks I take off from work, I'm just home. And, like, he's there all day, too. And so I've always wondered, like, what do you do? There's no way you're somehow working from home Because A, I don't think you're technologically advanced, so I don't think you have a computer you're working on. B, if you're a mechanic, like, what are you fixing at home? Nothing. You know, I don't see, like, cars in the driveway in and out or whatever that he's working on, so I don't understand what he does. So anyways, my point is he was home when these guys were doing the work, and apparently he saw them, like, rewiring something incorrectly. I'm not sure how he knew it was incorrect. I mean, I don't really know anything about wiring, so maybe it was obvious. Maybe there's like a red to a red and a black to a black, and they were putting the red to the black, and that's how he knew. But anyways, he talked about how he knew that he noticed they were rewiring something incorrectly and had to point it out to them. Like, they're the ones doing the work. You'd think they'd know, but he's got to point out, hey, that's wrong. You got to switch those. Oh, whoops. But yeah, so they just sucked. As per usual, like other jobs that we've had done that were kind of, half butt, where we got the doors replaced. He hired somebody to replace my main door, I should say, and he did the first floor door, and then he was also supposed to do the second floor's door, and he was supposed to give us screen doors on the first floor and the third floor. Well, the guy that he hired came, swapped out my door, put a new door on. He did the first floor's door, but he never did our screen doors. He never did the second floor door, and he didn't even finish the the door frame on the first floor. And apparently what this guy did is, I guess my landlord paid him, and then he just kind of dipped to Aruba, and that was it. This was a couple of years ago now. Guy hasn't ever come back, hasn't tried to finish the job. He just, did a crappy job. Well, not crappy. I'd say he did the door pretty good. My door's pretty good. But, like, he just didn't finish the job and just casually dipped. And that's, like, the kind of people my landlord hires. So, anyways, back to the main story. So, in part, I think maybe we got renovated bathrooms because up in my apartment, there was some kind of a leak going on. I think there was some kind of fault with the pipes behind the wall. So every time I would shower, a little water would leak out, and then it would leak down, through the walls, and then it would drip out into the second floor. Well, my bathroom is right above the second floor's kitchen. So that's where this water's dripping. From what I gather, it sounds like it's dripping like right above where their refrigerator is. And so, yeah, my landlord did a lot to try to fix that. He caulked things up. He did something with the handles, the water faucet handles. And all of it didn't work because, like I said, the issue was with the actual pipes that were behind the wall. So I think that's why he was choosing to renovate my bathroom. And then I guess maybe he figured while he was doing mine, he might as well just do the second floors, since we didn't get renovations, but the first floor did. So that's probably why that all happened. But anyways, apparently, which makes sense considering the low quality that these guys were/are, they still didn't do something right. Because after all this renovation of the bathrooms, there's still a drip going on in the second floor. Now, I know this because the guy on the second floor has talked to me about it a couple of times. He's pretty decent about things. He's very approachable. He's, usually pretty polite. He's never really been condescending or anything. He's easy to talk to. He's actually one of those people that likes to talk too much. You give him an inch and he takes a mile. He starts talking to you and then you're just stuck. And he's just going to keep going until he's tired of talking. Like, he can just keep going. Like, I'm not a talker. I know I talk and do these, but I'm talking to myself, basically, so it's easy. But when it comes to interpersonal things, I'm not a talker. I'm more of like a, hey, how are you? And then carry on. That's it. Like, say it while walking. Hey, how are you? And just keep going. So, anyways, that's what he likes to do, too. He'll chat away forever and just tell me tons of stories about his weekend and about this and about that. But it usually starts with an actual focus, and then it kind of goes on to a tangent. So that's what his focus was one day. It was, hey, there's still a little drip. Have you seen anything up there? And I'm like, no, not really, because I haven't. Especially around the shower, because that's what the problem was before. So I'm thinking the shower. There's nothing wrong with the shower now. It's brand new. I haven't seen anything. So I don't think there's a problem. I didn't notice anywhere else any problems. So, I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, there's a drip. He's like, it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's a little. It's a slower drip, but it's still... I think he was putting a bucket, and he's like, it doesn't fill the bucket up as fast as before. Before, the bucket would fill up, every night. I'd wake up and the thing is full and I have to dump it out. He's like, it's not that bad now, but it still exists. He's like, I don't know what the problem is. So he was supposed to talk to the landlord. I don't know whatever happened with that. But then, I don't know, maybe a month or two after that interaction, one day he comes upstairs, like on my side steps. There's a knock at the door and it's him. And he's like, hey, the leak is happening right now. Have you been like using water a lot or something? Did anybody take a shower? Has anybody been using the toilet a lot? And we hadn't. The most we did was we just washed our hands. We being me and my daughter, or my daughter and I mean. So I'm like, no, we just, we were playing a video game. We were playing Mario Party. So I'm like, no, we washed our hands and we've just been sitting here playing games. And then he's like, He's like, man, I don't know what's happening again. He's like, I don't know if it has anything to do with the rain. So it was raining that time. I think I just said that when he came up. So he's like, it could be something with the rain. Maybe because our gutters they need work. There's one that's just hanging off, not doing anything. It's not even a gutter. It's just a weird decoration at this point. So anyways, he's like, maybe it's the gutter. I mean, yeah, maybe it's because of the gutters. Maybe somehow the water's coming in a weird way and it's working its way into my place and dripping, based on whatever. This is an old building. It sounds weird, but maybe somehow that's the situation. I'm like, who knows? Maybe you're right. So he's like, one, I'm going to talk to the landlord, just let him know that this is still happening. He's like, but two, I'm going to try to pay attention for when it rains. He's like, I'm going to try to pay attention to when it rains. That way then I can see, if there is a correlation to the rain or if it's just in my head. He's like, either, next time it rains again, I'll see it again and I'll know it is when it rains that this happens, or I'm wrong. And then I'll know, okay, it is something with your bathroom. So I'm like, yeah, okay, you can watch out. I mean, thanks for letting me know. I can try to keep a lookout on things too for you. I haven't seen anything, but who knows? So anyways, I have seen some stuff around my toilet. I mean, hold on, in my bathroom. It's around my toilet. It's been a little wet, but I never really knew what to think about that because mostly the wetness looks more like the toilet's sweating. So I haven't been sure if it's just the toilet sweating or if it's a problem. So, but I was thinking maybe this is a problem because he's seeing the issue downstairs. He's talking to me about it. So, but anyways, relatively speaking, problem solved. Just took a swig of a drink there. I'm getting dry all this talking. So anyways, and then again, like I said, he said he was going to talk to the landlord. So all right, cool. Talk to him. Maybe he'll come take a look and square things away. So anyways, fast forward a little bit now. Now it is coming into the point of this whole story. The whole point of why I wanted to make this video. All this other stuff was just filler, backstory, just to bring you up to speed. So it is now, not today, my storyline. It is now Friday, September 15th. I got home from work, probably around 4:30-ish. I go upstairs, I get changed. Because I dress like semi-formal for work. So I change out of that into casual wear. Because I have a friend that wants to take me out on a little trip to Rhode Island. We live in Connecticut. They want to go out to Rhode Island, wanted me to come along. So I'm like, yeah, sure. What the heck? It's Friday night. It doesn't matter how late we're out for. So anyways, I'm all changed. I'm ready to go. I'm walking down the driveway. And then I hear someone hollering. And it throws me off. It confuses me. And it kind of like startles me too. Because, I'm in my own little world thinking about everything I got going on. I'm thinking about my bills. I'm thinking about my jobs. I mean, I worked 3 jobs recently. And I'm still waiting on a pay from 2 of them. So I'm thinking about when that money comes in, it'll be very helpful. I got to get some work done on my car, like brakes. So I'm like, man, I can't wait for that money to come in because then I can like immediately go and get brakes. There's no need to save up at that point. I have the money. But I'm just still waiting on those checks. So anyways, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about what we're going to be doing. I wonder where we're going to go to dinner. I wonder how long we're going to be out. What are we going to do after if we get back early enough? So I'm thinking all these things. So, when I hear someone hollering at me, it kind of startles me. So anyways, what do I hear? I hear, what you're doing up there is causing a problem down here for us, or something snarky like that. Do you know that what you're doing? You do realize that what you're doing up there is causing a problem for us, something like that. And it turns out it's the guy on the second floor's broad, to put it nicely. She's up on the porch, and I don't know if she couldn't have been waiting to ambush me. I was going to say, I don't know if she was waiting to ambush me. There's no way she was, because she doesn't know what I'm going to be doing, that I got home and I'm going to be leaving. For all she knows, I'm just staying up there. So anyway, she's outside on the porch, and yeah, just yells this. So like I said, it kind of startles me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, a couple things. One, this broad has to be in her mid-60s. Has to be. If not, she is terrible looking for her age. Because my mom is upper 50s, and she looks way better than this woman. So there's no way that this woman is close to my mom's age. She has to be mid-60s, maybe upper 60s even. Which, if that's the case, is kind of weird, because the guy I don't think is that old. I always think of him as maybe low 50s. So I don't really know why he'd want somebody who's 15, 20 years older than him. But maybe she is his age, and she just looks terrible for her age. I don't know. But my point of bringing up her age is, in any case, she's an older individual, which means she should be wise. She should be mature. She should know how to be respectful. She's at an age where she could be a grandmother. I don't know if she has kids, so I'm not saying she is a grandmother, but she could be a grandmother. And depending on how old she is, if she's pushing 70, like I feel like she might be, then she's also pushing an age where she could be a great-grandmother, which means she should be just this sweet older woman who just bakes cookies and is respectful, nice, kind, okay? So there's that. The second thing is, when I asked, what are you talking about, I meant that. I didn't know what she was talking about. She yells at me, what are you doing? You realize what you're doing up there is causing a problem for us, and I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Like I said in the very beginning, I don't do anything. I'm quiet. So I'm trying to think, I hear this and I'm thinking of I'm trying to think of 55 million things. What am I doing? Am I loud? No. I'm thinking so sometimes I work out up there. I'm when I'm working out, do they hear it? I'm no, because I'm respectful about it. I do it quietly. I'm not doing burpees and all that. I just do weight training, so it's quiet. I don't slam my weights on the floor. When I get tired, my couch is right there. I drop the weights on the couch. So it's cushioned, and it absorbs the drop, and it's nice and quiet, So I'm it's not that. I'm what is she complaining about? The only thing I could think of was recently there's been a nail that's been poking up in my kitchen floor. It's kind of in between my bedroom and my daughter's bedroom. It's the head of the nail is poking up. And it's kind of hurt both of us. My daughter accidentally kicked it the other day, and it hurt her toe a little bit. It didn't, cause blood or anything, but still, ow! And same thing with me. I thought it was just some junk. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a piece of lint, so I went to kick it to just kind of brush it just to see, and then I was going to pick it up, and then, ow! What the heck is that? Why did that hurt? So anyways, I can't push it down with my finger. It's kind of sturdy, but I get a hammer and boop, one hit, the thing goes right down. So anyways, I don't know what that's all about, but I thought maybe that's what she's complaining about. Maybe when I bang the hammer back down, she's you're causing a problem. And I was going to explain, I was going to say if that was it, I was going to be well, yeah, this nail is sticking up, so I bang it back down. I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're causing this nail to come up. So I'm just tapping it back down. I don't want this nail sticking up in my floor. So anyways, back to the story, and keep in mind, she's an older woman that you think would be respectful and sweet and all that. So what does she say when I say, what are you talking about? She says, oh, you don't know. But also has a sarcastic look on her face, which is kind of why I wanted to do this as a real talk, so then I could mimic the face and you could see what I'm talking about. But yeah, she's got this sarcastic-ish look on her face, oh yeah, I'm sure, you don't know what I'm talking about. So now I'm starting to get annoyed, because she approached me rudely, and now she's responding to me rudely and condescendingly. So I'm yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say this because I knew and I just want it to be difficult. I'm asking you, what are you talking about? How about you tell me? So then she says, I'm talking about the water. whatever you're doing up there that's causing the water, you're causing all kinds of problems down here. There's black mold, and I'm sick and tired of waking up in the middle of the night and if I walk in the kitchen and I step in the water, it's disgusting. I'm also sick and tired of running through all my towels. I had to throw one away now because it's gross, and I'm not throwing away anymore. And I'm just standing there thinking, what the F are you saying this crap to me for? I don't care about your towels. Like, cool, you don't want to throw away your towels? Don't. It doesn't affect me either way. I mean, you don't have to throw them away. You just wash them, stupid. And two, I'm like, again, like, what are you doing wandering around in the middle of the night then? That's not my problem either. I don't wander around in the middle of the night. If I get up, it's to beeline it straight to the bathroom. I don't know what you're doing, walking all over the place. But also, I'm thinking, why are you pinning this on me? Like, she's treating it as if I am actually doing something on purpose. That's the way she's treating it. She's acting like I'm up there just dumping water on the floor and not cleaning it up. Or, showering with no shower curtain so the water goes all over the place. Or something stupid along those lines. And it's like, are you serious right now? Like, I'm not saying this. I'm just thinking it. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, what do you think I'm doing, you moron? So anyways, what I do say, because at this point I'm not trying to be too engaged with, like, negativity. I'm trying to stay neutral. I'm also kind of still, like, shaken up from, being, like, surprised. Like, huh? What's going on? So I'm like, I mean, you do realize that we just had a crack team of people in here that renovated our bathrooms, right? And they weren't the highest quality of individuals. So most likely, they screwed something up in the process of putting our bathrooms back together after they tore them up. Like, why are you coming at me? I'm like, this isn't my fault. This isn't my problem. And then when I said this isn't my problem, oh, she loved that. She goes on, oh, of course, it's not your problem. And I'm like, it's not. I'm like, it's something in the wall. It's a pipe in the wall that's got a problem. How does that have anything to do with me? I was like, if you got a problem with the leaky ceiling, go talk to the landlord. I keep saying the landlord. I say the guy's name. I'm not going to say his name in this video just for his own privacy. And, I don't need to say his name out. But, I'm like, go talk to the landlord. I'm like, geez, your man, obviously I said his name. But I'm like, your man knows about the issue. He's talked to me about it a couple times. He's talked to the landlord about it a couple times. If you got a problem, go talk to him. Don't attack me in the driveway. And then her dumb response is, I'm not going to go talk to him, meaning the landlord. He's got enough going on in his life right now, which is true. He is, his wife is in very bad health. She's in hospice, which you know what that means. That typically means the person's on the way out sometime soon. So he's got that going on. And he also is in the process of selling the apartment building, which is to me. So, I mean, he's got that going on as well. He's had to have lawyers to be able to get I guess the house was in a trust. So he had to have lawyers to get it out of the trust. Now he's having lawyers trying to write up a sales agreement and stuff. So he does have a lot going on. But at the end of the day, he's the landlord. It's still his building. We haven't finalized anything yet. It's not my building. It's still his. He's still a landlord. So any issues you have to go to him for. So if there's a leak going on from my floor to yours, you need to talk to him, not attack me, moron. And that would go for any case. Even if I was intentionally doing something stupid, the way I see it is you should still go to him anyways. You should file a formal complaint against me with him, and then he can figure out how to resolve it. And then, if he thinks that I'm innocent, which I am, all he has to do is go and check and see that there's a problem. It's not me doing something. Then, he can relay it to you. Oh, well, the problem is this. I'll get a plumber here to fix it. Or if it is me being a dickhead, then he could say, yeah, I noticed, this seemed kind of off. I talked to him about it. Shouldn't happen anymore. If it does, let me know. I can take further action. And then keep that as like a demerit against me on my record, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just attack the other person stupidly like that. But anyways, so yeah, she says that stuff. And, so then she finishes it with, so what are you doing? And I'm like, she says, yeah. So then she continues on after saying he's got a lot going on. She's like, what you need to do is just investigate and figure out what the problem is. So that way then it can get fixed. So what's the problem? And then I'm like, I just told you, I don't know. Because I'm not doing anything. I don't know what the problem is. It's not me. It's just something, it's a mechanical issue with the house that needs somebody to properly take care of it. Which, of course, then she loved that too. Oh, yeah, of course you don't know. You don't know. She either mocked me and said, oh, I don't know. Or said something stupid like, of course you don't know. Of course you don't know. Yeah, I know. You don't know. So now she's really pissing me off. And it's getting to the point now where I'm thinking, broad, you're lucky you're not a fucking guy. Because if you were, I'd be running up those stairs to lay you the fuck out. I didn't say that to her. That's just what I'm starting to think. Because now she's irritating me with how stupid, ignorant, and condescending she's being for absolutely no reason. To back up a little bit, too, she's always been, like, bitchy for no reason. I never understood why. She's always had this demeanor about her that's just so cranky and stupid. And I always thought, what is your problem, broad? Like, seriously. Anytime I see her, it's always like she's like mad towards me. And I'm like, I don't understand what her problem is. I've never done anything to her. I've never done anything to either of the kids that live there, which, mind you, aren't hers. They're his kids. And I've never done anything wrong to him. Anytime he talks, I'm cordial to him. Like I said, I get suckered into his long-ass conversations, and I'm just sitting there listening to him, or standing there, actually, we're in the driveway, standing there listening to him for an hour, and I'm thinking, God, I wish he'd stop. But I just stand there and pretend I care. So I'm like, what is her problem? Like, it also irritates me because it's like, she's not even a tenant. She's not on the lease. The people that are on the second floor lease are the guy and his, I guess you can say, ex-girlfriend. Could say ex because she died. But they are the ones that are on the lease, not this broad. She doesn't even belong here. So who are you to complain? Who are you to attack me? I'm an actual tenant that's lived here for 8 years. On top of that, my brother lived in the apartment that I'm in for 5 years before me. So, essentially, this apartment has been in my family for 13 years now. Who the F are you to run up on me after you've lived here for, 3 years now? Oh, legally, you could say, because you're not an actual tenant. And I know you're not paying any rent because she doesn't work. She's home all day, every day. Just total 100% loser. All she does is she's home all day, every day, and then smokes weed every day. You gotta smell that crap all the time. Which then I started thinking about that too. I'm like, you know what, you moron? I didn't say it, but I'm thinking, you're over here complaining about a water issue that's not my problem. It's something that's just naturally happening, and maybe we need to get a plumber in here. But it's not even my responsibility to get. You need to talk to the landlord and have him get the plumber in. But yeah, ironically, you're gonna complain about that, but yeah, you're out there smoking weed every single day, and I'm on the 3rd floor, so smoke rises. That crap's always in my apartment. There's so many days when I come home from work and open the door and I'm just blasted with that smell, and it pisses me off because I'm like, I don't smoke this trash. Never have, never will. Yeah, I gotta walk in and smell this, but then this bitch thinks that she's gonna complain to me about a natural leak that I'm not doing anything to cause? Are you serious? Like, I feel like what her issue is she's one of those people that have nothing going on in their lives, so they worry about the stupidest, littlest, most maniacal, pointless things and turn it into something way bigger than it needs to be, should be, and all that. You know what I mean? Like, she's home all day doing nothing, just sitting there home alone. Or even if she's not home alone and he's home with her, she's still just home. So then you start getting in that mode where it's just, you just dwell on the stupidest things. You know... it's a little too hot in here, we're out of bread. Like, the stupidest little things get to you. So now there's this drip going on, and all of a sudden, all she can think with her 2 remaining brain cells that barely work is, it's his fault. Man, that gremlin voice is killing me. Probably doesn't help that I'm dry as F from all this talking, too. But anyways, that's her problem. If she'd get out more and actually had a job or had some hobbies or just got out just to get out, just go to Target for the fun of it or something, she probably wouldn't be this cranky. But because she sits home all day doing nothing, that's why she's such a bitch nonstop. But anyways, so yeah. So after I said, I don't know, she does her sarcastic stuff, and then she says, well, I hear that you're going to be buying this house. And I said, yeah, I am. And she says, yeah, well, we're going to be moving out in a couple of weeks, so good luck with that. She says, you're going to need to do a lot of work up in here. And I'm like, cool, sounds fine to me. And I'm like, and then I say, have fun moving out. Just because I'm like so frustrated, I can't even think. And then after I say that, I'm like, oh, that's so weak. That's such a stupid exit line. Like, that's how it ended. I said that and walked off. And I was like, that's such a terrible line. Dang it. I wish I would have thought of something better. But in the heat of the moment, it's like, that's all I could think of. Because, see, in my mind, I was thinking moving is a pain in the dick. You know, you got to pack everything up. Move. Nobody wants to move. Then you get to the new location. You got to unpack, reset your stuff up. So, like, when I said have fun moving, I meant it sarcastically, like, in that regard. But that's a whole thought process that went through my head. When you just say those 4 words, have fun moving, 3 words, have fun moving, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean all that stuff that I thought. So I'm like, dang it. That was weak and stupid. But, yeah, then she's saying her dumb crap about, oh, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And I'm thinking, you know what? First off, if there is a lot of work, like, I don't trust you that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Because, you know, the guy's been living there for, I think, 12 years he's been here now. And I'm pretty sure if things were that bad, he would have been complaining and the landlord would have had to fix it. Like, that's number one. Number 2 is, from what I understand, the landlord's going to sell me the house as is, with the provision being that anything that's needs to be fixed, he'll fix. So he's going to sell it to me as is, but fix any problems. So that means, like, those gutters that I mentioned earlier, he'll get those fixed. Any glaring issues on the second floor, he'll get those fixed. So if there's, like, she's saying, oh, there's all kinds of black mold. Well, if there is all kinds of black mold, then he'll take care of that. He'll, you know, replace the tiles on the roof or whatever they have going on to get rid of that black mold. Like, so I'm not even worried about it. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you're saying this like it's a threat. It's no big deal. Like, he's going to take care of all this crap before he sells it to me. So I'm sure I'll be able to start fresh with this house in better condition than it is currently. So, all right, cool threat, bitch. But, yeah, I also feel like, though, she's probably mildly bitter that I'm buying the house because, you know, she's such a freaking loser that she has nothing. She couldn't ever buy this house if she wanted to. She don't work. What is she living on? Social Security? And what's that pay you? $1,000 a month? You're not going to buy a house on $1,000 a month. Her credit is probably garbage. You know, she's probably saying, if I had to guess based on how she looks and everything I know about her, I'd guess she's probably like in a low 5 range, you know? So it's like, I only think this because, 1, like I said, she doesn't work, so she doesn't have a source of income. 2, her last car died. She got a new car, quote unquote, but it's just another, I don't want to call it a piece of junk, but it ain't nothing special. It's something that, like, a 16-year-old working at McDonald's would get as their first car. You know what I mean? Like, it's a basic bitch. Anybody with a little bit of credit and a little bit of money and who basically is living with their boyfriend for free should be able to get something way better than a basic car. So, especially at her age, come on. Mid to upper 60s, roughly, you should easily be able to get something way better at that age. Like, you should be a well-established individual, and you're not because you're a loser. So anyways, I just feel like she's probably acting out as well about me getting the house because it's almost like jealousy. Like, I'm a kid compared to her, and so it makes her mad that I'm able to buy this building and stay living where I'm at and everything, and the whole thing's mine now. And she can't do that. She can't even pay rent. She's got to shack up with the guy and live with him for free. So, oh well, F you. As far as the tenants moving out, so from what I understand, both the tenants are moving out now. We knew from day one that the first floor guy was going to, because he's actually family with the landlord. I think he's the landlord's wife's nephew. So we knew from day one that he was planning on moving out. He's going to move in with his dad, which I already found a tenant for that one. And then as far as the second floor, now that I found out that they're moving out, I already found a tenant for that one. So I'm not worried at all. It's like, cool, move out. Like, it's not hurting me at all. I already have tenants. They're actually people that I'm close to. They're family. So I got family moving in. So I'm like, I should be fine. You know what I mean? Shouldn't have any problems. You know, rent should always be paid on time because it's family. Like, it's better than just some random people. It's people I know. And then if there is an issue with one of them, it's easy to talk to them. Hey, come on, man. Can you stop doing this? Versus like somebody that I gotta be all official and stuff. And, hey, this has been going on. And can you kind of just not do it anymore? And then if I got to evict them, that's weird and awkward. We're family. I hope I shouldn't need to ever evict. So that's great too. So it's like, yeah, move out. I mean, it's kind of sad because the whole point of me buying the building, this is kind of going on a tangent that shouldn't be part of this video, but I mentioned it, so I'll explain quickly. The whole point of me buying this building is because I was doing it for me and the second floor. I know the guy on the second floor, he didn't want to move. You know, he was talking about how he was kind of sad. He's been here for 12 years. Basically, his kid grew up here. I think his kid's 12 years old. So he was born here and grew up here. And yeah, he's kind of sad about needing to move out and didn't want to. So I wanted to buy it so then I could protect it for us. Because I thought if some other person buys the house, they're going to skyrocket our rent. You know, they're not going to care. They're going to jack the rent way up. So that's why I want to buy it. That way then I can control my rent. I can control the second floor's rent by keeping it the same. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have to change it at all. He'd be able to pay exactly what he's paying now. And then whoever I could get on the first floor, then I could charge them enough for my comfort, but at the same time keep it lower than anywhere else. That way then they're happy too. And I could easily find a tenant by charging lower rates for a 3-bedroom than anything else in this area, you know what I mean? Which I don't have to worry about because, like I said, I got family moving in, so that solved that quickly. But still. So that's why I want to buy it. Like, the building I live in is not, like, my dream house, yard, anything like that at all. Like, you know, it's in the middle of, like, a fairly heavily populated area, and it's, like, there's no privacy, there's no nothing. And like I said, my apartment, I'm going to stay living where I am, and my apartment's tiny. Like, it's kind of ironic. I'm going to be buying the whole house, but yet my portion is the tiniest. But that's why I did it. Or that's why I am doing it, I should say. Buying the place. You know, my dream was always to have a house, like a small house. You know, just like a decent-sized kitchen, a decent-sized living room, a bedroom for me, a bedroom for my daughter, obviously a bathroom, and then maybe like a office room. And then have like a finished-off basement that I could put like a cool movie/video game room in on one side, and then maybe like a storage or a gym or something on the other side. And then have that little house on a couple acres of land with like a garage. That's all I needed. That's what my dream was, you know, to be isolated, be somewhere alone. So if I wanted to walk outside naked, it didn't matter. There was nobody that would see me. I wouldn't be offending anyone. It wouldn't be any kind of obscene gesture because I'm by myself. It's me and trees. Like, getting this was not my dream. But I see it as, well, maybe it can still work out. You know, I can buy this, pay the mortgage for a few years. You know, I'll have tenants and stuff. And who knows, maybe down the line I can get myself a house like that I have a dream of. And then I'd just be able to keep this for, like, money. You know what I mean? It'd be a cash cow. Just like it currently is for the landlord. You know, the people would live here, they'd pay me rent, and they're basically paying the mortgage for this house, and I would just have to worry about my personal mortgage for my dream house. But, yeah. So it's kind of a bummer that the second floor is moving out, because I'm like, that defeats the whole purpose for why I bought this. Sort of. I mean, like I said, I have family moving into the first and second floor, and I think that might actually be pretty awesome. So it'll still work out nicely, but it's just, I don't know. I was trying to do a good deed, and, like, they're moving out, but it's fine. After her being a broad like that anyways, it's just like, you know what, F you. Move out. Makes things easier for me to not have to deal with you anymore, see you anymore. And then the other thing is her stupid weed nonsense. I was going to tell her that that's not happening anymore. So I guess it don't matter if you don't live here, right? I was going to tell her that's not happening anymore because I'm sick of smelling it. And, you know, then I'm sure she'd just come up with something, oh, it's medicinal, blah, blah. I'd say, you know what, I don't want to hear about your dumb medicinal nonsense. Because all that says to me is, you know, I'm going to make up an excuse because I want to smoke this crap to be high. And at the same time, I don't give an F that I'm being rude and disrespectful to you and making you smell this. Because I want to do it, and that's all that matters. And I was going to say, I don't care what you say either, if it's medicinal or anything like that. Cigarettes aren't illegal, but you can't smoke in restaurants or stores or anything anymore. So likewise, this would be my building, my property, my house. So I can tell you that you're not doing that. End of story. You want to do it, you can go in your car, you can go for a walk and do it, or you can convert to like CBD gummies or something that's not going to bother me. But I guess I don't have to worry about that because, like I said, bitch won't be here. Anyways, yeah, that's all I want to rant about. It's something I've been thinking about every day now since it happened. I mean, today is now Tuesday night, so that's been like, what, 5 days I've been thinking about it? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 5 days, especially considering it happened at like 5 o'clock on Friday, and now it's like 10 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday. But yeah, it's just something I've been thinking about. Not like it bothered me, it just annoyed me. It just annoyed me. It was uncalled for, unnecessary. It was very ignorant, very just stupid. What are you attacking me for? Acting like I'm doing something. I mean, you know that your boyfriend has talked to me about it several times. I've explained the situation to him. The last time he came up when it was raining, I even thought about afterwards. It was too late. He already walked away, and I thought, oh, I should have let him come in so he could have taken a look at it himself. Why didn't I think of that? But like, yeah, I was going to do that even. Yeah, go take a look. So then you can see it. That way then you don't have to just take my word. You can physically see yourself what's going on and come up with ideas. But yeah, it just annoyed me. And then I ended up calling the landlord on yesterday. Not so much to like tattle or anything like that. You know, I figured she's so stupid and apparently doesn't know how to either A, use a phone, or B, walk across the street, because that's where he lives, literally right across the street. Like, our houses are perfectly in line with one another. So he's 100% right across the street. And apparently she's too dumb to know how to either call him or walk over there to just say, hey, you know, there's an issue. And it's just easier for her to attack me, apparently. So I figured I'd give him a call, but I also was just saying, you know, I'm only reporting this for the second floor because of it. I told him this whole situation. And then his response was, well, first off, she's not even a tenant. So she has no say in anything. And then I kind of cut him off and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I said too. Glad to hear it from you because that's exactly what I said too. She doesn't even belong here. Who is she to be complaining? But yeah, anyhow, I don't really know. I kind of lost my train of thought there because somebody had called me in the middle of me doing this. So that interrupted what I was trying to say. I feel like some of it got lost too. I listened to the end of it just to try to remember where I was at. And I feel like a lot of what I said somehow got cut off, which doesn't really make sense. I don't know why that would have be the case. I don't know. I guess while it's recording, the thing keeps so much like in memory queue, if you will, and maybe the last minute or something it lost. I don't know. Anyways, I've been on the phone for literally exactly 32 minutes. And so, I don't know what I was saying. I think I was just trying to wrap it up. So anyways, yeah, F this broad. Not my fault. You're a loser and never did anything with your life. Sayonara. Don't want you here anyways. So, see ya. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video just to try to not really get it off my chest because I'm still going to be thinking about this. It's still going to annoy me. But at least I talked about it. And like I've said a million times in the past, the T4Cast kind of are like weird personal therapy. It helps me just not think about something anymore. Now that I made this whole video talking about it, it's just something I can forget about now and then just move on from this dumb broad. So yeah, if you listen to this whole thing, thanks a whole bunch for that. And until next time, I said see ya.